Hey guys, how's it going? Today I wanted to speak about the subject of, is there any limit to human creativity? Well, I think that a lot of it is very much intertwined with how our world is, if you really think about it, because people that were in medieval times or in the old days, they didn't actually have as much access to stuff as we had nowadays. Nowadays, if you want to buy paint, or if you want to draw on a computer, or if you want to get an instrument, there's just so many different type of resources where you can do it. When I was a kid, if you wanted to learn guitar or the piano, well, you would have to go to literally a teacher, or you'd have to ask a friend or somebody if you were lucky enough to have somebody around your surrounding that could teach you how to do that stuff. But then, nowadays, when you have great tools such as YouTube, you're able to look up how to play this thing, how to do this, how to do that, and that doesn't just limit itself to music. It can limit itself to martial arts, to learning a language. The internet, computers, YouTube has enormously changed how much we were limited before, and that's simply a truth. And I think the more people know about stuff, the more people evolve, even just by seeing videos. For example, for me with martial arts and gymnastics, I've noticed that people have in the past 15 years evolved so much compared to the previous generation, because I think that they're watching other people on the internet and they're seeing that it's possible to actually achieve this and that move, or they can learn all these new things, and then by breaking it down through the video they're able to learn these things, and then once they've learned it, they probably become even better than the person who was doing the video, and that's when they are able to create even more. So definitely I think that as humans we are limited by creativity with whatever is given to us, and I think by the knowledge that was given to us by the people in our past in some way from the previous generations. Because nowadays, even with math, physics, all the sciences, really, well, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of basically people's knowledge from all that time. And that's the thing that's so crazy, is that we're able to basically read those things and then on top of that create something above that. Now what makes it hard is that obviously the more that has been created, the more there's difficulty in creating even more content, because it's already always been done. But what you're trying to do in creativity is you say, well, okay, somebody's done this before, but I haven't done it. Maybe I'll be able to maybe surpass or give my own voice to a piece of art that was created hundreds of years ago. I think that's why people revisit Shakespeare plays and do their own interpretations of the plays in their own way, because of copyright issues, that basically it's allowed to be used by anybody and stuff like that, and that's where you're able to thrive. And definitely I do think that the limits of the creativity are also embedded in our education. They're also embedded in basically the fact that we have 2 arms, 2 legs, the fact that we're living on Earth and there's a certain type of gravity, there's a certain type of amount of time that we're given, even the IQ in a way. No matter if you're smart or dumb, or I don't like to use the word dumb, but no matter what your level of knowledge is in life, there's a limit to the human brain anyways. There's just some things that I think even though we think so much that we're above a lot of animals, we're still mammals, and we're still animals in our own way. So that's the thing, is that basically we're limited by that. We're limited by all these things, and also money sometimes, because sometimes we could have grand ideas of how to do. For example, for me, I love to do movies, and you can be super creative, but there's a limit to it. If you don't have the budget of a Marvel movie, well, you're not going to be able to do anything that's going to be similar to that. I mean, you can do cool stuff and you can do very creative things, but if you're really looking to have that level, I don't know. It's usually it's a team of people. It's not just one person doing all that stuff, and that's where the limit comes. And of course, some people are gonna fight me on it, saying no, the technology is so good, but there's still a limit to it. I mean, you can make things look cool and amazing, but eventually you need to outsource and have other people on your team. Otherwise, you can't just do things by yourself. And I think that's also a limit in itself, where basically we are limited by the amount of resources that we can use around ourselves. Because if you just want to do everything without any help, well, good luck. Because somebody with more knowledge, somebody with another eye, somebody eventually will have to be able to help you out in your creativity to make it even better, to basically overcome and maybe see things. And honestly, I think also, obviously, as mentioned before, the imitation of what we're doing on YouTube and just all these different resources that are available to us thanks to the internet, thanks to the fact that we're able to also travel with planes so much faster. The world is just so close. Everything is so close by. You can travel to the other side of the earth in less than 24 hours. And that's just amazing, because you could be in a sunny place like I'm in now and be in the North Pole tomorrow. And that's also going to influence our creativity. And I do think that the more we discover with science, and the more we actually discover in the universe and the space travel and all that stuff, it's just going to open up many different things that we can't even imagine at this point. I think we do imagine it to some extent. Obviously, writers throughout history, and even Aristotle, all these people, they were seeing all these things. They were looking at the stars, they were looking at philosophy, they were looking at so many things, and eventually a lot of what they thought basically became, right? So it's like Da Vinci imagining flying inventions, flying objects and stuff like that, and then it becomes planes eventually. So it's definitely through dream, but it's through generations and generations. And if you're just thinking that you're by yourself creating, well, you're not. Basically, we are intertwined by being humans of this world, and the more we are able to collaborate, the more we are able to create, and that's the limit. And then it becomes almost limitless, but there's some point where I think just it's going to be a variation of one thing or the other, but it is already amazing that we are able to create so many limitless things in one way or another, and so many different variations. And that's what makes us human, and that's what's great about it, being able to discover all these things. So yeah, it's limited and it's not limited. Let's say that. It's something that everybody has to discover by themselves. But for me, anyways, I'm glad that I'm able to create once in a while and do things. And that's all I'm trying to say. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.